Hi, I'm Alan Vyers from Videntity, and this is a repeat performance from the Health 2.0 STAT presentation I gave on January 26th at Health 2.0 STAT in Washington, D.C. And this is Open Mobile Health Exchange, OMHE, a microsyntax. First thing, what is a microsyntax? Well, a microsyntax is human readable, human writable, machine readable, and machine writable. And by machine readable, I mean a computer program is able to parse the data and do something meaningful with it, like put it in a database. A microsyntax is also short and compact and is ideal for services like mobile text messaging, Twitter, and other things. The @ symbol and hashtag in Twitter are examples of microsyntax. So what isn't a microsyntax? JSON and XML can be microformats, but they are for machine-to-machine communication. Again, a microsyntax is actually for machine-to-human, human-to-machine, machine-to-machine, and human-to-human communication. So in other words, their use cases differ, but they can be used interchangeably in some cases, but not all. So what is Microsyntax.org? Well, it's a new nonprofit organization dedicated to identifying and finding consensus around microsyntax, not only in healthcare, but in lots of different problem domains. And OMHE was started by me about a year ago and became a microsyntax project thanks to Mark Scrimshire, who spoke at the last Health 2.0 STAT meeting and introduced me to Stowe Boyd, the president of Microsyntax.org, and lo and behold, OMHE became a Microsyntax.org project. Well, what is the problem? Well, my 5-year-old niece, Allie, was asking the question, how do I standardize data from multiple devices, including phones, landlines, web clients, and medical devices? And is there an open format that I can... And the closest thing that she could find to solving the problem was Continua, or the Continua Alliance, but Continua is a closed source solution, and it costs quite a bit of money to access the format. And Exxon and JSON are great for machines, but what about humans? So her older sister Rachel said, hey, well, let's define an open source microsyntax to solve the problem, and let's make the license open source and business friendly, Apache 2, and give it away on the internet so for the world to see. And lo and behold, that was the birth of OMHE Microsyntax. It's easy, open, free. It's the Nirvana of mobile health, hence the guy and his meditative stance. So what doesn't OMHE cover? It doesn't cover security or transport. These are intentionally left up to the implementer. OMHE covers things like blood pressure. Sorry, I couldn't get the cat to stand on the scale. Weight. Despite multiple attempts, the cat wouldn't pose on the scale. Too much meow mix. Other things OMHE covers? BMI, mood, access requests for medical information, pain levels, and lots of other information. And the basic anatomy of OMHE is a name-value pair, command-value pair. Here's an example of blood pressure. You can have an equal sign, and that's optional. So it's just there for readability, but it's not required. That way it's that much easier for someone to type as a text message. And commands have long aliases, so like BP, you can also say blood pressure and spell it out, but BP is the short version. The way the group works, it's still evolving. It kind of started at health camps. We use tools like Skype, Twitter, and Google Groups and Google Code to share information. And each command is a proposal until someone actually implements it. And we're still evolving this process. The companies involved up to date, Polka, Kias, and Videntity, I'm aware of, are all doing some implementation. Razcode is another company that's implementing a solution. This is the main website with the code repository. If you create OMHE compatible code and you want to make that open source, then by all means feel free to upload it to this website. In the code repository right now is a parser that contains both a library and command line utilities to parse OMHE messages, and graphical user interface examples that are compatible with Linux, Unix, Mac, and Windows. Everything in the repository right now has been produced by Videntity and is written in Python because that's what we use and that's what's useful for us. And here are some screenshots from the GUIs. These are actually old. We've actually updated these since then, but you can download and play with these apps if you access the repository. And here's a screenshot from some of the command line utilities that parses the data into a list or into JSON. And some of the things that are in the hopper is an OMHE2 CCR library, so it will actually take an OMHE message and convert it into an XML snippet suitable to inject into a CCR document, and an open source graphing library, so you can take OMHE messages like blood pressure and graph it using Google Chart. Thank you very much. My name is Alan Byers, and have a great day, and namaste.